Hello, fellow Mythrunians! Welcome to the first live stream of 2025, where we're going to be doing some custom map markers, I think, tonight, because the portals are working, and in order to figure out the portal network, you're probably going to want to be able to plop down markers. So before we get started, let's go ahead and thank the patrons over there. Actually, it's like that way, right? That way, yep. Down here. Up in the upper left is where you can download the last version of the game. I'm trying to cut a release on Sunday night, but I probably may do some day job prep first. Yeah, so I've got the game up in here. We're going to play with portals for a second. So you can see how on the map we're in the middle of nowhere, but I want you to kind of mark. We're just northwest of this town 16993. And so if I go, let's go back to first person. I'll show you what I've got done. Oh, I just put the sound effect in right before. So see, we get all sparkly. And oh yeah, so there's like multiple levels of third person. So you can go this way, you can go out a couple more, and then you can go back in. So okay, so this would take us roughly northwest. And so let's jump in that portal. We could take any of these portals, but let's jump in that one. Shoop. And now I want to have a sound for being in the portal. Okay, so now we're in here. It's telling us we're experiencing portal blindness down in the lower left there. And as it clears, yep, it'll clear in a moment, and we did. And so now we are somewhere completely different. If we look back at the map, okay, so we were northwest of this town, somewhere in this area, and now we're up here. And so wouldn't it be nice to be able to drop map markers? But I tell you what, exploring these, yeah, see there's the moon gate sound. Exploring these portals is kind of a lot of fun. Let's take, let's not go north, let's go west. An energy vortex pulls you somewhere. You are experiencing portal blindness, and as it fades away, we see it go away. It is beautiful. And the portals activate and deactivate with the moon, so that's all good. I still have to get rid of the little orb thing here, and I think I'm going to replace it with an admin wand. So that I meant to bring up my, where's the live stream? Yes, here. I meant to bring up this thing. And then we can minimize this guy. Actually, let's move to a different tab because I think it will stop updating that and give me a little more. Okay, we got one viewer on currently according to YouTube. Anyway, it's a lot of fun to jump around these, but obviously we need to. Yeah, so this one's got, like, we can see that the spawn is down here. Unfortunately, in this particular world, I created a brand new version of Seed 321, which is the one that the server's based on, and it's funny because no moon gates show up anywhere near spawn. Like, this is the closest moon gate to spawn, or maybe there's one this way. Let's take this one. Shoop. And here we go. Let's see where we are on the map. Yeah, so this is, I think, the closest we get to the spawn is here. So what I want to do tonight is I want to sort of add a layer toggle here that says, you know, turn on and off the custom map layer, and then have some tools over here to drop custom map markers and draw lines. That's the minimum I would like to get done, is to be able to draw map markers and lines. But tonight we're going to work on map markers first, and then be able to like draw random lines and stuff. But the idea being that you could mark your moon gates and then draw lines between them so that you can sort of start a mapping out the network. And so that is what we will do. Hey, Oakstorm. How's it going? So yeah, I want, like, and I want it to be something that the server, sort of the world configuration and plugins, can define their own map tools. And so we're going to be, yeah. Well, I mean, I can run you through again before the portals stop, but basically I was showing that the portals are working. So you can jump through a portal, and how it would be really nice to be able to mark on a map where you've been so that you can keep track of the portal networks. But in a second, no, we still got like 4.5 hours in game before the portals stop working. But to be able to like keep track of where you've been on the map. So that's custom map markers. And I like literally 10 minutes before the live stream added this sound effect for the moon gate that I made by layering a bunch of instruments and putting distortion on them and stuff. It's kind of cool. And there's sort of a mythology behind why the sound is the way it is. And like, it sounds like chimes, but what happens is that there's some kind of energy coming through from the spirit realm that we get a form of synesthesia, and it acts like chimes. It sounds like chimes, but it's some kind of energy that comes through, and it sounds like chimes to us. Alright, so without further ado, yeah, I got a lot to do, right? Because I started none of this because I wanted to walk you guys all the way through it. So I've done a design. There's going to be a component for the types of tools so that I can easily add some later, and so that some players can have different tools than others and so on. And then there's going to be a couple components. I've only designed fully the custom map marker component, which would be kind of like these, except for you can select your own icons and they'll be player specific and so on and so forth. And I've started putting together a initial set of icons. This is the first 4. But, you know, I have the ability to create, 64 in this one tile, and the whole idea being that we could have multiple icon atlases at some point, depending on what we want. Little dungeon doors. And then this is just the first version. I'm planning to go back and use my tablet to hand draw these so they look more sketched. Probably. We'll see how they look on the actual map. But anyway, we got tons to do. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons to do. But one thing I didn't know about the server world is that when you go north, the whole thing is littered with these, with those mesas. Like if we go back through here, let's see, will it let me go north? Where's the map? So, nope, no way north here. But I think, yeah, anyway, I'm wasting time. The point is, if we, north, there's like all of these plateaus, and there is a portal. I think you have to go over here and then up that way, but there's a portal that lands right on the top of one of these, I think. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Just unfortunate that none of them appear near the server. So I may have to add an admin way to add a Moongate temple, wherever I want. Okay. Anyway, and in case you missed it, yes, we have now multiple levels of zoom. I think that my last log was on some mesas that looked cool on the map. I ended up finding a large skull structure. Yeah, I like it when the skull structure actually appears on the mesas, because that's kind of where it looks the best. One of the things I need to work on is having the skull face in the right direction for being on a cliff's edge, because sometimes they face backwards. Yeah, I try to stick to FP2, but when I want to make the hand-drawn pictures for, it looks better to have a little more scene in there and a little less person. So I like having the ability to, pull. This is the regular one, and pull back a little bit, and pull back a little again. I'm gonna settle on 2 zoom levels, but the other thing is I added F9 can turn off the HUD, so I don't have to jump into the settings every time I want to turn that off. Anyway, so let's get started, because we got so much to do. But yeah, that sound effect for the moon gate's about an hour's worth of work. And yeah, it sounds like this. Yeah, I've got it kind of a low volume so that it's not too loud, but anyhow, okay. So let me just look at my design real quick. 2025 custom map markers. Yeah, so I like did a little write up earlier. And one cool thing is, like, all of the optimizations I've done, I can now do more advanced queries. So I no longer have to, like, the original map marker has the owner embedded right in it. And I suppose that's okay because they're, at any rate, in the new queries, I can actually query on, like, owned by and a component at the same time and query multiple things about them. So like I can query tile ID of one and owner of the other, and it'll make a join query, and it's fancy. So that really opens up some things. I don't have to like embed things necessarily into components that don't really belong there. So yeah, I've got like this layout. I kind of want to have this set up in a way that we can work on it without shutting the game down and starting it up every time. But we'll see. Lots and lots and lots to do. Okay, so I think I'm going to just take the existing map marker state and copy it because it does almost everything I want to do at first. Except for, you know, it's doing markers incorrectly because it's got a very limited idea of what a marker is. Oh wow, I created this in 2023. So first we'll do custom marker, custom map marker state. And then when I do lines, you know, I'll have like a separate one for that. And so I looked into it. First of all, let's make this work. Custom, whoops. Okay, all that's good. We pretty much want everything here, excuse me, except for we don't need the cheat, we don't need that. We will have a marker container, we will have a map root. Our marker container will be different, but that's fine. We will have marker layers. We do not need the portal links thing. We will need that. I don't think we'll need an icon template, and we won't need to show all markers. We do want to find out where I add map marker state. Ooh, not here. Maybe in map view state. No. Alright, this is where an IDE would be nice. It is in the player menu state. Oh, interesting. Okie dokie. I believe that is in here. That map view state. Map marker state. For map performance reasons, we want map markers to stay up to date in the background. Yep. We are going to want the same thing for the custom map markers. And so wherever we're doing something with this, I'd like to refactor this at some point to break out the similar parts into their own separate layers, but that is not happening tonight. Okay, and then yes, okay. Alrighty then. Okay, so this should be added. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need all of this stuff. We don't need this. Um, If we normalize the icon sizes, I'm not going to worry about this. Icon template, we don't need it. We don't need layers. We don't need debug. We do need to update the filters. We're not adding layer toggles, so we don't need to remove them. So yeah, so the map marker state does a bunch of things. We're going to do different things, but it added to the regular map view, it added a layers container, you know, so that we could, you know, toggle on and off the layers and do that. But we're going to have eventually players will be able to find their own custom layers for their custom markers, but right now it's all going to be lumped into one layer, and we'll just toggle the whole thing on and off. So we don't really have to worry about that. I can get rid of all this hinges, portal stuff. Yeah, that was the other thing, because I haven't really properly defined map layers. When I wanted to see the Stonehenge linkages, the Spirit Hinge linkages, and then the actual portal links, I had to like hack in some stuff into the map marker state because it was not easy to separate that out. All of that's true. See, there's just going to be so much the same that I really need to refactor this. Update layers. Ooh, I don't think we have a layers invalid anymore. Nope. So we don't need to do that. We do need to update positions. We do need all that stuff. Update filters for sure. We haven't defined a custom map marker class yet, so let's do that. So this is the component that gets attached to entities with, actually let's not go so far over. Stay right around here. So like these are the components that get attached to entities when I want them to appear on the map. And we are going to make this one custom map marker, and it'll have a lot of the same stuff. Let's update the, oops, which I also need to do to my other one. So we turned out not to need game session state, custom map marker state, copyright 2025. Okay, so custom map marker, joink. Let's change the names to protect the innocent. And we don't want that. We don't need the owner. What did I decide I needed? Design. Oops, let's look at the design. Not that. Yes, this. Custom map marker needs a layer ID, and icon, you know, for future planning. Icon ID. We're gonna leave the layer ID out. I can add it later. Icon ID, size. Yeah, I think that's all. So, private, icon ID, private, size. Yep. And so we don't need owner. We do need icon ID, we need size, we need tile ID. Doink. Icon, size, position. We need the position so we can create the tile. Yes, yes, yes. We don't need owner. Okay, oops. Sorry, I just had to take a sip. Okay, so we convert the string into an ID because it's cheaper to send IDs over, oops, than it is to send random strings when they're going to be a common set. Change the size, something we will do commonly. Probably want to be able to change the icon as well. Size, we got tile ID, we got toString. We don't need that. We do need icon. Yeah, I'll call it ID. It's a little ambiguous because I convert it to a string if I have it. I think this is fine. And so that means that wherever we're doing map marker here, we ought to be able to say custom map marker. Not there because we already changed that. That's good. Yes. 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 Yes, yes. Actually, oh, interesting. You know, I haven't mapped the... I haven't mapped... oh, no, we don't need the hinge container anymore. Or the link view or the portal container. Okay, so this is the container that keeps track of the markers that we're loading in our layer. And it occurs to me, even though the entity system supports queries across filters now, I mean queries across components now, the entity container does not support that. Does it? No, I haven't updated it to support the queries. So for the sake of this live stream, I'm going to put owner back in. Let's copy it over from here. But I am hoping to split that out into its own. You know, actually for the point of the live stream, we can probably just pretend we all share. So we just leave that out altogether. We'll just not filter on owner. So we leave this out. And so, yeah, we leave this out. Actually, let's just... Okay, so this is filtering on the tile ID. And yeah, so I can just do this because it's already set up to do nothing else but pull in everything. Right. Yeah, because if not, show all markers. Yeah, showing all markers is actually the default if you don't specify. Okay, so that's all good. I think. Yeah. And okay. We don't need this because that was stuff from the spirit hinge stuff. I probably could have cleaned all that out of... Alright, we don't... I think just so we see something, I might just leave this stuff in. So we have default set up, and So yeah, we've got a marker layer, but let's change this to layer. We're not going to have one yet, but we'll have default layers. Marker layer. Yeah, I'm going to leave this wired in for now. It would, like, this is almost everything you would need to have layer toggles for the player. But, like, I mean, there's a bunch of other wiring that would have to happen, but I would need all of this stuff as well. And yeah, and it's already managing all of the markers for a layer. Yeah, it's got its own root. Yeah. We're going to leave this in. Marker type. Nope, we don't have that yet. Icon. We will for the moment. And so at some point we get the layer. Okay, anyway, let's read this. So it's got a marker, or this is the marker. Won't have a layer, it will have a type. It will have, I'm sorry, it won't have that. Eventually it'll have a layer default for now. And it will have an icon. Icon name. And yes, for now, we'll leave this here. So entity node, marker blah blah blah, marker label, attach. So we get the position, we get the orientation, we get the name. Okay, if the name has changed, we set the name and we adjust its position. All good. I mean, all this is like good stuff. Info not get type. Update. Instead of update type, whoops. Let's say update icon. Oh, I didn't put the parenthesis on the end. Okay, update icon, blink, blink. Okay, only two places. So get icon name. So have you all had a good holiday so far? All two of you who are on. I suppose some of you have gone back to work. Icon, yes, we got icon, remove from parent, get marker. Yeah. Not layer name, icon name. Oh, nope, get mark, layer name, sure. Instead of type, we want a not. I just paid for, or in the process of paying for my kids' college tuition for this semester, which is always a lovely time. And then, of course, it's January, so all of the insurance deductibles reset. January is always a fun month in the Speed household. Alright, so get size, all that's good. We assume a certain standard. Yeah, that's why I'm like thinking I might not be able to do a release Sunday night, because the strong temptation is I haven't been to work since before, the week before Christmas, and I go back on Monday, and it's also the end of the sprint that I missed 2 weeks of. So yeah, it's going to be good times. And I think all of that is, yes, all of this is good because it's deciding which's visible and which's not based on get marker layer Their name. Okay. Let me make sure that I've gotten rid of all of the types. Nope. I mean, this one doesn't really matter because this is a method I'm going to get rid of in a second. So here we got one I missed. Layer name, layer name. I'm trying to see how many compiler errors I can avoid. Okay, I got rid of all this. Let's see how many compilers I get. We're not going to run it, we're just going to compile. Oh yeah, good times. Oh yeah, because this one doesn't have the, these two methods are the same. And there is no type, so that's already broken anyway. Alright, let's try again. Oh boy, so this is the one I screwed up. All of these need to be icon ID. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, let's try again. Custom map marker, no owner. We've only got icon ID size. What else? Get type name is not type name, it's get icon name. This is what happens when you cut and paste. I still, I would say on the whole, it was probably saved me time. Okay. A bunch of the hinges stuff I haven't removed. And then portals 2. Oh. Well, no, apparently just the one place. Layers invalid. Icon template. Oh yeah, because we didn't copy over the icon template stuff, so let's do that temporarily. I just want to be able to temporarily make some icons and see that they show up to make sure this is connected okay. Center IDs. Let's do this. In which case we will need this back. Where is it? Icon template. And so I'll just use the old icon stuff for the moment. And then I'll add a quick and dirty back-end command. There's invalid. There we go. So that should be the last. We'll leave that there because eventually we will want that back. Excuse me. So, okay, compile's okay. Real quick, let's add a to our server mods. Testmod.json. We will add a map marker test.groovy. And so we will map marker test.groovy. And we're going to add a custom command. Steal the first one. Oh, we want, I don't want to steal these. If we make the command update admin command, then we can, when the script reloads, it'll still work, so that we can keep updating it. Test creating a map, a custom map marker. Okay, so Marker test. Okay, so we'll be able to do this at runtime. Okay. So, will it run? Excuse me. Sometimes I forget to drink liquid and try to breathe it instead. So, apparently I have both Oak Storm and Ron Morgan in my chat. Or they switched names. You see, it works even when... Oh, no! Okay. Let's see, we get like all kinds of information. Oh, yeah, okay. That's easy to fix. Okay. I figured it was something like that. I just thought I'd point it out that I noticed. Okay, in the game server, we need to say... where's the regular map marker? Okay, there is a better place to be doing this then. If map marker is already defined, no, we want to go this way. Find source dash name star.job xrx grep map marker. Can we search for map marker.class? Client components. See, I did have. That's where it should be. So if we go here, I knew I had one of these. I tried to find it the other day and I didn't look very hard. Map marker, custom map marker. All right. Yeah, I have my Oculus, or my Meta Quest 3 sitting behind me over here. All charged up and ready to do something fun. I just haven't done anything fun with it. I do like the color pass-through a lot, though. I have, not Beat Saber, but the other one, what's it called? Synth Riders? That had on the MetaQuest 2, I assume it'll work on the 3. For a long time, the strap on my MetaQuest 2 has been broken. So if I'm like sitting still, I can use it, but like only one side of it ratchets correctly. Okay, so it loads. And we'll wait till all the fog clears. Look at that, it's going away. I like the effect. Okay. So then we should be able to come up here like this. Wow. Wow, something's really unhappy. Map marker state is always taking too long. Why is map marker state always taking too long? Oh, it just had a bunch of them, that's all. I got a drum game like Beat Saber on sale for like $2. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't... You guys probably can't see behind me, but there's some electric drums behind me that I brought up to do some recording, and decided that was frustrating for a variety of reasons. Okay, so marker test should run something. Okay, it does. But I'm a little concerned that we're getting all of these frame lags. It's telling me that the map marker state, for some reason, is taking extra milliseconds. Anyway, so we should be able to go to map marker and say echo hello. And so then if I run this, okay, so it's creating it, and so we should be able to let us create a custom marker at our location. Let's test equals create. I can just say create entity actually. Create entity. Owned by me? Activator? Activator. That might actually work, but and activator spawn position. And we want to say new custom map marker or custom map marker dot create. And so for the icon size position. Okay, so let's do some tests first to make sure I can. No, that's fine. I'll just go for broke. Okay, so create. Let's make it. Where did I put that stuff? Source main, resources, interface, marker icons. Okay, so interface. Actually, let's. It doesn't really matter. But let's set it to something interface slash marker. What I want to have is like a syntax like this where I can say, to specify an atlas location in a PNG, with a standard 8x8 size or something. Okay. What else did I want to do? Oh yes, size, which we will make 32. So that's pretty big on the map. That'll be a full leaf size. And position. Tile from rows position. Okay. Position, not location, and entity data. Okay, so that should, if that's set up right, checking frame state. Yeah, so we're having, basically, the live stream is doing bad things to my network. So if we should do like this, it should create an icon where we're standing. Error, okay. So we messed up. Cannot invoke method getAt on null object. That's right. We are in a command, and so there is no activator. It's on line 9. Yeah, so what do we do? In a command, I have this as an example over here in the portal test stuff. We do gates, which shows us all near gates. So we're avatar. Avatar is our entity ID. We're good. Okay. Map marker test. So everywhere I have activator here, I can replace with avatar. That should work. Alright. Kaboink. Okay, error, something else went wrong. Or did it? Oh no, because I don't print anything out. Oh, we created something. Oh, that's the spirit hinge. Okay, so let me actually move somewhere where our icon would not be obscured by something else if we did create one. And the other thing is I need to give it a name. The layers won't pull up unless it has a map marker, a name, and a spawn position. So we're missing a name. So we will add new name testing, comma. And then we will echo created marker test.name. Okay, all that's good. Alright, so dot. Yay, look at that! We created a map marker. Okay, so now there's still like a ton of work to do, but we know that fundamentally if we call the backend and create markers, we will see markers show up. And I already created and since I already created a marker with a an icon thing, we could work on that. Yeah, so maybe let's see, how could I do that so that I don't have to run the game every time? I can't. I gotta be able to be able to run the game every time, unfortunately. But what we will do real quick is we will make an icon name. I'm wondering if this should be on the back end, and that will make it easier to write unit tests because I know they work there. And so we can say, let's put it in with the shape stuff because we have a similar thing we do here with shape name. So we'll call it icon name, even though it's not really a name. Looks like shape name is not really just a string name. Icon name. You know what? Let me go ahead and edit this template so I don't constantly have to Java. Oh, we want to edit. Oops. Text lab, Java. Edit text module. We want to set this to 2025. And while I'm at it, let's do the same thing to this because that's still set back to 2023. Okay. Okay, so now when I create new classes, they'll automatically have the thing. Okay. 2025. This is Mythruna shape. And I'll probably make maybe a map. Anyway. So an icon name will have a string image name, and it will have an X. Except for it might not. If it doesn't, then it will just be a straight icon. Okay, icon name for serialization. Just in case. Like if I want to save them and load them as JSON. Excuse me. All right. Icon name, string image name, integer X cell, integer Y cell. Y cell because the time's right. Image name, this X cell equals X cell, this Y cell equals Y cell, and we can make these final. No setters necessary. Okay, so just for fun, yeah, I don't like that. Let's just say get X. I should have called them cell X and cell Y, but it looks weirder. I don't know. I get hung up about the method names versus anyway. It's like a me problem, not a you problem. Let's go ahead and import guava so that we can @to override. Cannot type tonight. I worried about this earlier because I had a hangnail. I put a band-aid on my finger. I took it off before the live stream, but I feel like I'm off my game. Add image name, add Excel X, actually just X, add Y cell, oops, to string, and we'll also say omit null values. Alright. And then we want to be able to parse them. So I'm going to steal this. Actually, I don't need to steal that pattern. It's totally bogus. But I do need to... I do want to steal... Nope, I don't want to steal any of this. I like the ideas in principle, but we are going to want to... Still recovering from trying to breathe my Pepsi. Alright, I love this tool, by the way. I think I've mentioned it before, regex coach. So let's say we've got interface / foobar.png 1 2 3 4 or 3 2 whatever, right? So that's our target string, and we can then make a, so that'll cover everything. We can just, I love it because you can interactively set up your thing. So we want everything up until the parenthesis, and we need to escape the parenthesis. Okay. And the parenthesis is going to be a non-capturing group. Okay, so basically we can have it or not if we want. So everything inside, I don't know if you guys know regex, but basically everything inside this question mark colon parenthesis bracket thing here means that we'll capture it as a group. Like it has to all exist together, but it's not going to show up in the groups we can pull out. I'll show you in a second. So like just say we did a dot star slash, so we have to escape the parentheses because parentheses mean something. So we've got that. If we put this part in parentheses, regular parentheses, then we get that bug. This needs to be a... Ooh. Okay, so something I'm doing is wrong. It's supposed to capture this, but it's currently capturing everything. And so I need to make this not greedy. But so to make it not greedy, I think I do like that, right? I'll explain. If you don't know what greedy is, I can explain in a second. So when you have ambiguous expansion, so reluctant, yeah, so reluctant qualifiers. So star on its own is greedy. It's going to suck up as much as it can. But when you have two things next to each other that try to suck up as much as they can, then, yeah, so by making that optional, it sucks up the whole thing. Because it's ambiguous, right? This could be optional, and so the dot star could capture the whole thing. It's allowed to do that, but when I make it reluctant, it shouldn't. It should only... See, now it's not capturing anything because it's acting like this guy can capture it all. But he can't. Because there's got to be... If I take this out, everybody works okay. If I put this in regular parentheses, it stops working again because we got this one and then 2. That's funny. It's not capturing anything. Yeah, so somehow we've created a thing that allows a selection of 0. Because, sure, everything is optional. We have to... So we want to make sure that we always go to the end. Yeah, that's what it is. So by making these reluctant, basically we could satisfy this by having no selection at all, and we could satisfy this one by having no selection at all because it was optional because of the question mark. So we have to make sure that it always does the full line. And now we can put the... Okay, so now we've got... that is the full selection. Group 1 is just this, which is just the image name. And we have no group 2 and 3 yet, but we're going to do that now because instead of dot star in here, I want dash D, plus, dash D plus. Okay, so everything still matches. We're still good. But now I can put these in a capturing group. This is where regex is really cool. So it'll tell me whether this matches or not, and if it does match, I can get the image name out of it, and if it has it, I can get the X cell and the Y cell out of it. And so we like this. This is a good regex. And if we had one that didn't have this, it would still match. We just wouldn't get anything for 2 and 3. So it's cool like that. And so, and we can have as many of these as we want. And it still works. Even though realistically, those are not realistic numbers. We have to have at least one. Like if we took one of these out, it should no longer match. Oh, interesting. So for a bad format, it'll capture everything. That's not really what I want either. I wonder if I can take this greedy qualifier off now. Yeah, so this is better. Or the reluctant qualifier off. So now if we put a number back in here, like no, it's still capturing the whole thing. That's not really what I want. I would have to say, what I'd have to say, I'd have to say everything up to not a parenthesis Star. Yeah. So then that's not right either. Is that not the knot? That's not the knot, right? No, that's the beginning of the line. So what is the... No, in any character, I want to say anything but the first parenthesis. You know what? Let's not get wrapped around the axle about perfect regex. So essentially this will kind of be cool because if we screw up the formatting, it's going to come out as trying to load the bad image instead of giving us... Oh, okay, I messed something else up. What else did I change? Yeah, okay. That's probably the other thing I broke. Oh, yeah, so the other thing is I would have to say, always be at the beginning. And then I probably could put this not opening parenthesis back. Okay, so it's finding everything, and if I screw up the format, it don't find anything. Well, that's not really good either. Okay, I kind of like the idea that it'll give me the full image as an error. Okay, so we're back to... Yeah, okay, good. 12, okay, everything's working. Okay, this is the regex we want. Sorry about the detour into regex. Private static... Yeah. Okay, so here's where things get weird. Every time we used a backslash in here, we have to escape the backslash because of regular strings. Okay. So public static icon name parse string s. That's fine. Matcher m equals name pattern. Oh, this should be... So we'll get a matcher, and if it doesn't match, row illegal, argument exception invalid, icon name format s. Otherwise, actually we can, in here we can create one. Nope, it's gotta, because those are final. Okay. Name equals m.group 1. If m.group 2 is not equal to null, then x equals null, integer, y equals null, x equals integer, to parse int, do the same thing for group 3 and y. And then we'll return new icon name xy. Alright, and so real quickly, I will make a unit test. Oops, it should be shape. Oh, does it? Oh, it does already. Okay, I screwed up. Yes. Okay, so shape. Yeah, so we want something like the shape name tests, but we're going to make icon name tests. Groovy. Yeah, I suppose we leave all that stuff up there. Oh, interesting. My Groovy template was not updated. All right. Before we use this in a game, or in the game, the reason I'm doing this is because I can test it without having to run the full game just to... So... we ought to be able to... Yeah, so if we add public string as to composite string, return string builder sp equals new string builder image name if xcell is not equal to null and y cell is not equal to null, sp append xcell comma y cell. It's good to have reciprocal methods. So now we have something we can turn into a string that we can also parse again, which will make writing tests a lot easier. So to say so parse test, yeah, so they basically doing the same thing here. Test raw image, raw name, that's fine. Foobar.png. Icon name. Parsed to composite string. Okay, so then we ought to be able to say Gradle test dash tests icon name tests dot parse test. And actually, it might be I have to use the $sign. Ooh. Oh. This is why we like to be able to test things. To string helper. Oh yeah, because of the serialization thing. Alright, well, then I could have simplified the other thing. I try to be a good software engineer and get screwed. Okay, so yeah, no test found, so that means it wants a $sign here. It passed. The test passed. So yeah, reciprocal works. Let's test. So we could also assert that test dot image name equal so that assert that. Turns out, you know, I did assert equals up here, but Groovy's smart with this anyway. Excuse me. Assert parsed null equals parsed dot x. Assert null equals parsed dot y. And so if we cut and paste this, test cells. Always write some unit tests for stuff like this, kids. Test, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't support white space. I'm going to add that real quick. So if we want any amount of white space between the comma or at the beginning or at the end. But that's it. We don't want to support white space here, but we do support it here and here now. Okay, so foobar should be the same, but now we have actual values here. Alright, let's see. Do our tests still pass? Yep, okay. So I'm pretty confident that our code is working. And so now we can actually go and use it for something. Okay, so when we see the icon has changed, we're going to call getIcon. And getIcon is currently doing all this BS. And instead of, I think we can still keep using the template, but now we're going to want to do more with it. And so instead of just reusing it, we're going to have to clone it. We do. Alright, so let's say, okay, so first of all we're going to have to import this package, or import the class, shape, icon name, get icon, let's go back where we were, equals icon name dot parse icon. Okay, we got it. And so then we can say resource equals icon name dot get image name. Okay, so this should, if we ran this now, oh, you know, color is something else we're going to want to be able to customize. Probably. So if we run this now, it's not going to show the right cell. It's going to show the whole texture. Let's make sure that it'll run it all first. Okay, so bear with me while I verify that. Oh, the Pepsi's gone and we're only halfway through. Now we're on water. Alright. So we open our map and we zoom in. We should see the whole thing. Yep, so we do. Those are 4 little icons. So we want to just make those blown up big. Okay, I just wanted to verify that all that was working up to that point, because now we get to some math. So if icon name dot get x not equal null and icon name dot get y not equal to null, Then we're gonna do some funky stuff here. We want to say float x equals icon name dot get x divided by 8. And float y equals icon name to get y divided by 8. And so that gets us indexed into the texture. And we'll set cell size equal to 1/8. And then we will go copy some code. Surprised I don't already have it open. So I want to steal this code right here. Alright. Quad dot set buffer. And for 0 we want x and y. And then for this we want x plus cell size. That's or y plus cell size. And here we want x plus cell size. And actually cell size should be a little smaller, but okay, so we've set the texture coordinates so that they'll be within that cell. You bear with me for a second. I'm going to run this again. Yeah, okay. Cannot find symbol type. Oh, yeah. I think it's vertex buffer type. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now we should see the apple. Gosh, there's just so much to do. I'm getting off track anyway. Thing is, like, it's important for this icon thing to work correctly for a variety of reasons. Like, how are we going to have selectable icons if we don't even have icons defined? Okay, let's open up the map. Zoom in, we should see an apple. We do not. Maybe I got it backwards. We can see let's make a let's find our previous one. Find entity where name.filter testing name.class custom map marker class echo found. Let's just see if that works. What do I call it? Marker test. Okay, so we found the existing one. We can remove it. If existing removing remove entity existing. Now we can create another one. I mean, it's going to be the same problem right now. Dot. Okay, so it created it. Okay, but now we can play with different cell values and see. Nope. If we take the 0, 0 off, it should go back to showing the whole thing again. Nope. Okay, so I've screwed something up. Why do I always get caught in the dumb things? Like, it was working before I changed any of this. But these guys should be not null. These guys should be null. I'm gonna make sure we can see these. Icon name x, icon name dot get x, y, icon name dot get y. Okay. Just in case, I'm gonna just log all that crap, and then we will tail dash f dot client Mythruna client dot log grep l stream. So basically, anything I log to l stream, we'll see over there. So this is what I get caught in a lot of times. I spent last weekend, I think, doing some optimization. I actually got quite a lot done. If we look at the spreadsheet, like this is all the stuff I've gotten done for this release. Some of it was data migration because, you know, I changed the way data works. Some of it was I did a bunch of performance related things. So this is what I have marked to try to get in. Of course, it's unrealistic, but some of these are low-hanging fruit, so if I end up with time, I'd still like to look at them. Like if, for example, this had gone super smooth and we got like most of this done in the 2 hours, and I only had to clean up. Okay, so we got the thing over here. Null, null. So it shouldn't have even run that block. So we should still see the whole. Okay, so we do. So something else was happening here. When we tried to add, essentially it gets corrupted and stops working. It's almost like, so if we come back here and recreate our map marker but give it back the 0, 0, so it should delete that one, and so now we don't have a icon at all. But it did come in here. Oh, x equals 0, y equals 0, right? So that's fine if those are wrong. But my point is, when we put this back and we do this again, the icon is gone, even though it should be there. Yeah. So there's some state that lingers. I wonder if it really cloned those buffers. And let us take the shortcut in figuring out. Actually, I'm just going to steal the code back from Quad because I know it works. Oh, you know what? It's putting the textures backwards. Anyway, I used the flip chords version. At any rate, we will make sure that if we don't set it to the other way, we set it back to here. It could be that when JMonkey engine... No, see, when we clone it, we're setting a new buffer. It should be fine. But we're going to redo this. So this is going to be X and Y and Y and X. This is going to be X plus cell size, X plus cell size, Y plus cell size, Y plus cell size. It really shouldn't have mattered. It would make it upside down instead of right side up, but just in case. And let me just check my math here. So we are going to say log info L stream X Y cell size should be like 0.0125, right? And we'll say log info L stream resetting. Alright, let's see if this fixes the problem. It's important when coding to be sure that your foundation of what's actually going to show up on the screen is right. Because no matter how good your logic is, if you're not showing ground truth on the screen, you're going to run around in circles and chase your tail. Like if we had discovered later that changing the cell value doesn't really change the thing, but we saw we were changing things and something wasn't changing, we might think it was something else. But now we know it's some fundamental issue at the lowest layer. I cannot believe I'm spending a half hour on getting the atlas to work. I could have just kept the icons anyway. It's all got to be done though, whether on the live stream or not. Okay. Okay, so we reset it. If we go in here, it should be all of the... Yep, so it's all of the icons. And apparently I didn't put the else. Oh, no, that's the different thing. Okay, so let's change it back to cell 0. And so we should see... Oh, no, I have to actually run the script. Marker test. Okay, so it deleted it. Yeah, cell 0, 0. Okay. So, I mean, it's fine if we don't see it, because maybe those are wrong, and I've got them upside down. I don't think so. But let's put this back and see if we get the full thing again. Dot. Okay, we do. Okay, so that's what it was, is something was getting sticky from the clone. That's scary. So when we cloned the mesh, it wasn't deep cloning and it wasn't cloning the vertex buffer. So now we can play with the cell that we're selecting. Oh, I got this backwards. This should be 0 and this should be 7. Yeah, so now we should get an apple. Yay, we got an apple. It's a big blue apple. And actually we can make it bigger too. Shoot. Yay. Okay, yeah. That's weird that the text when the... Yeah, I may have to fix that. So that was for the map markers, which probably made sense for them because of the way they're set up. Anyway, we got a thing, and we should be able to change it too. So if we wanted to see, like, I had imagined, like, I was just randomly picking some icons, but I thought, you know, if you found like a place where there was some animals, you could change it to like a paw print. But I think the star is on 3, which is, I figured, what we'd want to set up for the moon gates. Yeah, so you can set up a moon gate. And I want to set up the ability to have a pin so that even if you're not zoomed in to the point where you can see the star, there'll at least be a small pin so that you can still find it. Yeah, you mean leave it the same size as a zoom in and out. The problem is that if you're if you're putting a bunch of custom markers down and then you zoom out, they end up all glomming on top of each other. So there's a variety in a map. I know maps. There's a variety of way to handle it in maps. You can collapse them again. You can auto scale only up to a point. What I thought I'd at least do is let maybe there'll be a checkbox to say, you know, or a maximum zoom or something like that, so that you know, out here you'd see a teeny little star or something. But there's just going to be some map markers you potentially don't want. Like if you're in a town or something, you don't necessarily want them, all the map markers you put in the town, to show up all glommed on top of each other. Yeah, so this is working about as well as expected, and now we need all of the UI stuff. Ha 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 ha. So let's think about what we need. We need oh, I didn't even use my little thing today. Oh, that's not even the right one. So yeah, portal blinds. We can come back in here. Yeah, so let me go ahead and green all of my things. Yeah, all that was done. So we could say this is all done. So okay. Oh man, we're gonna be stuck green. So I'm gonna have to automatic. So rough steps for custom map markers. We need bullet. We need a marker tool component. Set up standard marker components. Toolbar on the left to show tools. Tool handlers. Marker and line. Just marker for now. Tool handlers. That will get us pretty far. Essentially, when we have the map up, you know, we'll click on the toolbar to the left, and that'll put us in map marker mode, and then the idea is if I click on the map, it creates a marker there. Maybe just on the client held, and then I can edit it. Yeah. Let's do that. And then so we'll need a marker editor dialog. Drag to reposition. Click to select. The long pole in the tent, though, is this marker editor dialog, which I don't know if, I know for sure we won't get to tonight. It is possible we could get to drag to reposition, but we're going to need a toolbar. It needs marker tool, components. Yeah, so we got a lot of code right here. I'm glad the icons are at least working right. And so we can take our debug stuff out. And let me look at my thing. See, a marker tool, map tool. So the map tool is the handler, but there's the map tool type. That's what it is. And yes, we need type, icon ID, because they'll have their own icons eventually too. And then a drag shape. So when you have, I'm thinking eventually you might have polygons and stuff, and so there'd be different kinds of multi-click, click and drag stuff. So let's steal this, and we are going to create oh, it's not a good sign that my brain is trying to stop working. I should have put this stuff under map anyway. What did I call it? Oh, map tool type. Okay. Map tool. Let's just, yeah, type, sure. Okay, so this is going to be, got all that. We want that. That's it. Maybe this. I'm not going to write that right now, but I will need it eventually. Mythruna. Yes. Entity system. Implements. Persistent component. I always do entity component as well, but I think one extends the other. Component. Okay, and then I needed type, icon ID. So I can actually steal a bunch of stuff from here, actually. I like it. Okay, so icon ID, we need type, that's the index, and then we need why wouldn't drag shape be a part of the tool type? Why did I separate those out? Yeah, because the click and drag and stuff would all be handled by the tool type, which it would know already. So I don't think we need that, and that's good. I mean, it doesn't matter. we're not going to do anything with it. So I think type and icon ID and type is actually an integer that we'll set up. Or do I want it to be? Yeah. Why not give ourselves a nice text string that we can use? Let's just get rid of this stuff. We don't need to change size. We do need to get icon ID. We do need to get icon name. We similarly need it's the trick. Look at that. So now, if I go like this, I get all that stuff for free. So we'll do this for type as well. Alright, so I did a toString anyway. So do we need string type here? We do not need this. I'm trying to be as flexible as I can with making sure the backend or the world can define the tools, and that way if people are writing mods, they have some flexibility, even with just like out of the box, just writing some script on the back end. They don't necessarily need to do a bunch of UI work. So try to define as many things on the back end as possible. And it opens up the possibility, again, to have custom map tools per player. Maybe they gain skills or they have a particular piece of equipment. Because eventually maps are going to be a big deal in the game. You're going to collect your own atlas and put your own... the auto mapping that's there now is going to be rudimentary at best, and only if you have the skill. And so you potentially buy detailed maps of places and insert them into your atlas, or you create maps of areas and sell them to places, and the game would keep track of like sort of how accurate your map is compared to the real world and so on. That's the dream, right? But I imagine an interface where you've got your base map, and then you can kind of take maps you've bought or made and try to piece them over the base map and rotate them around so that they fit, because maybe they're not all north up and stuff. So you could buy some map at the store, and when you find that section of coastline that matches, you can match up the more detailed map and put that in your atlas, and so you're slowly building up a detailed map, and you'll have anyway, it's all going to be book based, turn the pages kind of thing. So map tools, good. I think it will even compile. Okay. And so excuse me. Let's make some standard map tools in here. how do I want to do this? Let's say if true, def existing, just because I like to have the extra indent. Find entity, name dot filter. Oh, there's one more thing I need to do, or we're gonna have a bad time. Map tool type. Map tool type. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's make a. So let's say we've got marker. That's the standard one. And so we want name.class and map tool type class. Oops. So if we find that, if existing, actually, you know what? Let's just say tools equals marker. Do I want the types to be the same as the name? Yeah, so let's say marker and line. Just set up to automatically create these for string s tools. Existing equals s. If existing, if not existing, existing equals create. Actually, if existing, no, we'll say create entity, and then existing map tool type create s comma. Oh yeah. Well, okay, we can come back later. We'll just do. We'll make them all X's for now. We're not going to actually show them in the UI yet anyway, because it takes a more translation than I want to do tonight to get this. Okay, so and ed. Okay, and existing object name create type. Okay. Okay, so we'll create some by default when we start up, or it'll fail because I've done something dumb. Could happen. So yeah. S. Okay. What we want to do with that, so we want to create our toolbar, and so we'll have our tool container. Tools. Sure. And so this will be an entity container. Oops. Extends. Oops. See, I'm losing it, guys. Tool type. Let's make the tool type class real quick. Actually, we'll just put it down here. Private class tool type. Private entity. So we're gonna steal. Not yet. Entity data ed. Yeah, for now we'll just grab them all. What did I call it? Map tool type. Object name dot class. Eventually we'll have an owned by, but right now they're all owned by the world. That's fine. oops. We probably want to sort them in some way. Tool type. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Void update. Got that. Okay. Anyway, wait. Let's get ahead of myself. Get array super return super. Okay. Now's where I steal heavily. And we will add the logs in. With our little L stream marker so we can see them in the lower left there. And for these, we will change them to tool type. Tool type. Tool type. Tool type. Object. Just hey Lando, late to the party, but better late than never, eh? Feels like Monday. Oh, don't talk about Monday yet. I am dreading Monday. Oh man, January is not going to be a fun month for me at work. Okay, so we're going to do it the slow way that's going to complain. I think that's it. This dot type equals entity dot get. Oh. Private strings. This is type name, and this is icon name. So we will map tool type dot class get type name. Actually, we'll go ahead and we'll be super proactive. Icon name parse. But really, we should be doing these asynchronously. Oh no. That's right. Oh no, it does need the extra. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we get all the tools. Validate tools equals true. Oops, boolean invalidate tools. Oops, invalidate tools. And let's make our container toolbar. And so everywhere we have a markers, we're going to make a tools tools.start tools.stop tools.update. If map is enabled. Oh yeah, because we oops, if tools invalid, update toolbar. Yeah, we don't need to set the filter. Update tool. Excuse me. So we say toolbar clear for tool type in tools get array toolbar dot add child new button type dot type name. Okay, it won't do anything, but we'll put the button there, and then we want to map add left panel. So we want to add a left panel. We want that to be our toolbar. Alright. So what am I forgetting? So we were watching for all the markers. I didn't know they didn't, but I didn't know they did either. Okay, so every time we get a new tool, we'll update the toolbar. There's always the chance that we need to update the toolbar right away. Alright, well, let's see what I forgot. I mean, it only costs the startup, and we're basically nearly done. So let me see. Alright, what did I say? Yeah, tools invalid. And is it clear children? Update layers, clear children. I can't even remember my own APIs. Update toolbar, clear children. The childrens, chidlers, as we had a joking name for that. 558, 558. Yeah, we don't need to pass the entity. We don't have a release, but we can. And we should invalidate the tools when we do that. Alright. Tools invalid. Tools invalid. Let's change it to toolbar invalid. Boink, 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 boink. Object release should exist now. What are you talking about? 566. I added it right there. Oh. It's not complaining about that. It's complaining about that there's no object. I should have read more clearly. More clearly and more carefully. Alright. There's any number of 50 things that could go wrong here. Let me just make sure that that wasn't an error. Find the entity. Yeah, that's fine. I have all these warnings thrown here now when things take too long. Because I've been trying hard to track performance. Ah, there we go. At least we get an error right away. No such property id. Oh yeah, sure. because it's entity data here. Alright, let's hope that's it. One day I'd like to have a precompile for the built-in scripts at least, which would also, so basically when the game is bundled it will precompile those scripts and include like classes instead of raw groovy scripts, which should also make this part faster, because this initializing game modules is because it's loading and running all those groovy scripts, which requires compiling them as well. A certain amount of that could be done in advance. In theory. Okay, so we should see some extra stuff come through here if I've got that wired up correctly. Oh boy. Oh, frig. All of the things I did not actually create the toolbar. Yeah. I have a toolbar. I did not create a toolbar. Awesome. Awesome. I sometimes amaze myself. Well, I mean, I did a lot of things at once, so I kind of can't be too hard on myself. Do all the things at once, and then one of the things didn't get done right. Try again. If at first we don't succeed, try again. There's that Ray's, there's a mechanic, Ray, I don't remember what his name is, YouTube channel. He always talks about, he loves his job so much he does it twice. Every time he screws something up and has to redo it. He says, I love my job so much I do it twice. At least that part's fast. I need to put pretty splash screens in the other part. Alright. You're experiencing portal blindness. Oh, no toolbars. No toolbars for us. But we did get the objects. So either we don't have a toolbar at all, we got a lot of them though. Why do we have so many map tools? I feel like the find existing is not finding them. But at any rate, we did not get a toolbar over here. I wonder if that's even working right. So let's make sure add left pane is, or add left panel is doing what we want. So yes, that's doing the same thing as this is. Okay, so it should be working. I'm going to assume that that part's working and that for some reason we're not filling in the buttons. Let's just do this. And we'll log it. Log info lstream update toolbar. Log info adding type and toString Can't do it that way. And just to be sure, add child, new label, tools. So there will always be something in there. And we do it again. This is the part that is not very entertaining. I want to get the, oh yeah. I want to get at least the toolbar working. I think, though, every time it starts, we're adding a new. I think these find existing. Oh, yes. I think it's not finding. Oh, well, that'd be why. Object name. Okay, so that's why it's not erasing the existing ones. But that's a problem for another time. We're going to get a bunch of tools in our toolbar, duplicates and whatnot. I can clean that up. The other side of this is I hoped it would be to the point where I could get some client mod stuff working so that we could just edit Groovy scripts to finish this out, but it took me longer to get there than I had maybe hoped. Oh boy. No signature method, object name filter. Does it tell me possible object name? We don't have a filter for that? Well, let's add one real quick. So you can edit Groovy scripts while the game is running. Sometimes, right? If the mod is set up in a directory, it can reload it, and so that's why I can reload this command because this is just sitting in the file system. So some of the scripts that are built into the game require a restart, but these that are in like my server mods directory that are just a raw Groovy file, I can edit them and the game will reload them automatically. Reload them and rerun them, so you have to be careful. So object name is not, doesn't have a filter method. It doesn't. Wow. Let's add that really quick because that would screw me up in the future. Okay. I'm used to being able to just filter on stuff. So this should be object name, just name. So bear with me for a second. Name, object name. Okay, so object name, name ID. Okay, everybody matches. Okay, and then we'll also. I was sure I had one of those already. Okay, so let's make the. So this will be, what I'm about to edit is a script that's built into the game, so I have to do this before I restart the game. And so let's find object type info. And so we want one like this, but for object name. And it's funny, we'll probably, do I not already have a create for this? I do. Okay, so let's take this, and we'll go find this, and we'll put it near this. Okay. So we'll just say filter, oops, not gilter, filter, name. Aim. So this is wiring up some convenience methods in the base scripting layer so that in my reloadable script over here, I can do this without having to specify entity data on the end like I have to for create, because I haven't wired that up for create yet. Anyway, so let's try again. But yeah, if I can get, when I get the game to, so when I get a particular feature like the portals, I was doing all that. I had like a live reload module, and then I migrated that stuff over to the built-in. But yeah, to test it and stuff, it was nice that I could just edit the script and just try again. And so then that's why I wire up some little test objects and things that I can click on, so that they run the scripts and I can rerun them. And oh no, you freaking okay. Object name filters applicable. You were wrong. Filter string right there. Possible solutions. Oh, alright. When I get the toolbar working, you see there's a missing I right there. When I get the toolbar working, I definitely have to quit for the night, because I've been developing almost nonstop since like 10 a.m. this morning when I got out, rolled out of bed, took a couple breaks, didn't eat lunch, finishing up the last little bits of the portal stuff. Took an aborted nap at about 4 o'clock. I say aborted because I woke up like half an hour in and couldn't go back to sleep, so. But I figure before I roll this release out with portals, you guys are probably going to want map markers, or you're going to get really lost and never find your way back. So that you can at least map out portals if you explore a world. Okay, so we should have gotten a bunch of stuff. Oh boy. Oh, I never set it to false again. So it's constantly updating that toolbar. But it's not actually finding any values to put in the toolbar. So that's disturbing. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, when we update the toolbar, from here, we need to say toolbar valid equals false, so it doesn't keep doing it. And why it added all those objects. Oh, I didn't put the L stream in, so we would never see it in this particular log. I could just grep on custom map marker state, and then I won't have to remember to put L stream in front of everything. So we can just take these out. But then what's going wrong? Can I diagnose it without... We clearly were getting objects. We didn't even see the label we always put in. Now the fact that I'm calling it every frame, though, it might just never get a chance to show. The Lemur UI layer, sometimes the stuff doesn't show till the following frame, because it's got to update its position and size and whatnot. And so if every frame you're clearing and re-adding stuff, it's possible you would never see it. Man, my chair, the little air piston gets in this mode where it starts to leak and I slowly sink down. though. It just takes so long. Okay, at least this part's fast. Okay. Yeah, the little, you are experiencing portal blindness. It will clear in a moment. Yeah, I didn't want people to get confused when they jump through a portal. That is a moon is going down, which means the portal's going to turn itself off in a second. Oh, maybe it already did. Oh yeah, at 6 a.m. it turns itself off. No more portal till 8 p.m. Okay, so let's load the map screen. Yay! Look at that. Whee! Okay, let's move back over closer to where our marker was, wherever that was. Yeah, so we got our little marker here. Now, I should be able to update these tools. So we're talking about the live reloading of this script. When this script reloads, it does this. So I should be able to find all of these and delete them. So let's find entities. Let's make a clean up my mistakes call. So find any of these, any of the map marker tools, and remove them. Okay. So now, yeah, now we've just got the two. Cool, 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 cool. And I can set this to false again. Okay, now I'm not doing anything with them, but we've got tools and they're selectable. Yeah, I guess they need some. These kind of need to be not checkboxes, but they need to indicate that they're selected. But that'd be the thing. You do marker and then you click down and you could set a marker. Things that so then when you click down, it would set a marker and then you get a little dialog that allows you to select what icon you want, type the name, you know, adjust the size, the angle that the text is, and so on and so forth. I also want the ability to be able to eventually send markers to other players. So if you've got, you know, some markers you like, you could, you know, basically to send meeting up places is what I'm thinking. Like if you want to say, hey, this is where we're going to meet, you can send a marker. Or share a pin, maybe. I don't know exactly how it'll work, but anyway, more stuff with maps coming up. But right now I'm just trying to get markers and to be able to mark down, you know, you can see the spirit hinges right now because I've included them in the filter, but they're eventually going to not be. You just see the towns and the spawns like normal. And you'll have to mark them as you find them. But I think this is where I'm going to end it because I am just fading. But is there anything anybody wants to see before I go? I can advance time and run around through portals again. For any of you who showed up late. So let's let's advance time real quick. Time, how many hours? We got so it's 9. Let's do 6 hours and see where we are. So that's going to put us 15:43. Let's say time 2 more hours. So yeah, so like it's rapidly trying to get the sun where it's supposed to. Oh, that's not the right. We need to be 2 more hours. Yeah, so there we go. Sun is catching up. It's rapidly setting to catch up to where I just advanced time to 8 p.m. And so the moon should come up, and we have enough of a moon. It is queued on the moon phases. So we got sound for the portal. If you go there, you can go zooming around. Also, if the portal if the destination hasn't, like it tries to create the destination. If the destination hasn't created, you get this cool. Let me see how far. I think if I'm trying to get to a portal where one of them won't be connected, so you can see the dead portal view. Let's see. Yeah, so we don't have a map here. We might be able to. Let's wait for the portal blindness to clear, because we are experiencing portal blindness. Yeah, we can't see very far at all right now. Let's see. We can see a little better if we jump up on here. Okay, so we see the valleys off in the distance. They're coming. At some point it lightens up. Yeah, that's the problem. When you jump way far out, like we jumped really far away, we can't even see our old marker. So when you jump really far away, it's got a lot of world to reload. Come on. And so the portal blindness will stick around for a while. But I wanted to give you the full effect of what that portal looks like when it's broken. This is just taking a long time. It will clear in a moment. Okay, so it's got at least out. There we go. Alright, so we should be able to jump down in here. And are any of them dead? Yeah, so here's some dead ones. It's generating the moon gate in that section. And so when it's done generating it, it'll pop in the actual portal. But this is also the view. Eventually I'm going to hook up the strength of the moon. Like really long portals won't work unless the moon is really bright. And so that'll set that up. Okay, so we could like go jumping even further out, but I think we'll head back to where we were, which I think was straight. Actually go down a little bit. Anyway, it's really fun to jump around the portals, but man, it generates a lot of world really fast. It large. Yeah, so there's the spawn. There's our little test marker we did. We might be close enough to see the spawn. I don't think we can see the spawn tower from here. But we can probably see the mountain over there. If we go up high enough. It's not this one. Is that it over there? Yeah. That's the spawn mountain. We can't see the spawn tower from here. It's not close enough, but anyway, it's a lot of fun to jump around through the portals. But again, it generates a lot of world. I've just been jumping around here when oh, this has got some cool caves over there. Some wet caves. Anyway, got the sound effect. So yeah, let me just exit out and I'll show you how big that world is. Size-wise on the disc. Let's see, it's OD. Yeah, so der worlds test 3, 2, 1 Gates world /s. So it'll jump through all there and see all of the stuff we've generated. So hold on, give it a second. Give it a second. It's getting there. Yeah, it's going through the POIs now, the POIs. But yeah, you jump around a world a lot. It generates a lot of data. That's only going to increase as there's more detail in the world. So portals are expensive. Use them with care. Yeah, so right, it hasn't generated terrain for all that world, but it's definitely generated the caves and the points of interest and the towns and so on. Wow, look at all the files streaming by. Is it almost done yet? I don't think so. Keep going. Alright, oh, it's into the terrain now. The column data is actually the terrain data. So it's into the world DB. Keep going. Come on, come on, come on. It's like watching paint dry. You can do it. Alright. So, yes. I created that world earlier today. And it's already almost half a gig of, right? That's, yes, so this is megabytes. Yeah, so it's almost half a gig of world entity and so on data. Because I've jumped all over the portals to test the dead portals and things, So yes, you can generate a lot of world very fast by jumping all over the place. And so that's cool. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to end it. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you have any ideas for future videos, you leave a comment, or if you just like the video, leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, then click the bell icon, and click that you actually want notifications. That's always important. Thanks again to the patrons. I love my superhero up there. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he's been a consistent superhero. And so my heroes are my core audience, and many of you show up every stream, so thanks for that. And I will catch you guys next time. Thanks a lot.